Another historic day of volatility in the markets, but in 2025, we call that Wednesday. We're not going to waste any time today. For you, I have a trade review, and also we're going to go over some market analysis for levels that you need to be prepared for the upcoming week. So, not going to waste any time. We're going to jump straight into trading view, and we're going to look at my results that I have from this morning. So, handful of trades over here on TradeZella. We can see that we have some losses, some wins, but ultimately the main idea was really around the open. And I'm going to go ahead and show you exactly where on the chart I was looking for this idea. You can see that I took an early stop right here, and we'll go ahead and look at some of these, but there's nothing too much to say on a lot of these. I was really just feeling out this main idea. It was the continuation, and I'll make this super clear for you guys. So we'll go ahead and go like this, and we can really do all of our discussion here on this chart. So you have, this pre-market area, and what I saw was this strong push, right? And it aligned with VWAP right there. And if you look to the left, we had all of these relatively equal highs. So my thoughts are we're going to trade from here. We see a market structure shift, consolidate, and then we push. This is all outlined and actually I posted a live trade recording for this session on YouTube. You can watch that after. But you'll see that I took essentially a bottom tick exit. Kind of unfortunate, right? When this stuff happens, little bottom tick exit. I thought this was a good entry, and it just didn't work on that entry, right? It worked later, and it was the same idea. I didn't flip my bias or anything like that. I just tried the same idea, maybe a little too little risk, too much risk, whatever. But you can see when we get to the open, this is where I really get the meat and potatoes of the move. I was able to catch this initial push for pretty much a top tick exit. So the idea is I'm breaking above that range, and you can see it. Let's just say this right here. That was the idea. And then also this right here. In real time, I'm watching both of these. So I was able to catch the majority of this and trail out the partial profits on the rest. Now, that wasn't it. I was able to go ahead and re-enter the trade based on just a system that I use for identifying lower time frame swing point formations. If you're unaware, watch the video, watch the live recording. You'll find it, and hell, you even know exactly where it is on the chart. So you could fast forward to that. But let's get into this next trade right here really quickly. It was a pullback trade. Now, did I get the best exit efficiency on this? Not really. Not really. I got one exit out here, which is right at that flat part. There's no wick right there. I like that level. So I took it off there, took one off nearly at the bodies of the close. I took it off there because I was afraid that I might fall short, and ultimately did. And I got trailed the rest at the bottom tick, where I could have potentially got one off above the high. So it could have been better. However, this was a secondary trade. And you know what? I had been in the trade for a minute, trading, the open for a minute. So I think I'm good. I think I'm okay with $600, 660, $800 on the day. Could have potentially made more here, but you live and you learn, but not really, because it's just life at this point. With trading, sometimes you'll make more than you want to. Sometimes you make less than you want to. And again, all of these trades are done on my 150K instant funded account through Top One Futures. I have a link here. Check this out. But now let's go over to TradingView. And we can see that on this chart, I mean, it's really exactly what we said in the weekly analysis video. We have this monthly order block right here. We were looking at that 5,000 level, and that appears to be essentially what it bounced off of. There's your 5,000. I don't think it gets any better than that. You can go back and watch it for yourself. Posted 2 days ago, gave you the level, told you I would be very, very, very interested in seeing a bid here. And that's what we've seen. It's not hindsight. I gave it to you. You're welcome. Now, what am I looking for the upcoming days, weeks, months, and so forth? Well, glad you asked. Because we have CPI tomorrow. Expect something to form during CPI, maybe a wick higher or a wick lower. But I'm going to look to trade against that wick, essentially. I do think the wick will be to the downside, where we can look to trade to the upside, maybe reach into this little volume imbalance right here on the daily time frame, right in this little area, and ultimately look for that open, low, high, close sequence. That would be a good daily candle for me. The weekly candle is pretty obnoxious at this point. As you can see, the volatility has been unbelievable. Now, what is this kind of mirror? We had the sell-off, massive dip to the lows. What am I doing at the bottom? I'm buying stuff. What were you guys doing? I don't know, maybe tweeting. But I was definitely looking to get involved in long-term positions down here the past couple of days. Why wouldn't you? You buy some in the front side, you get merked. You have a fun time holding a bag. You keep buying and it bottoms out, and then eventually you're up way higher than you even started averaging in. That's how long-term investing works. It's hard to buy up here. I mean, it's easy to buy up here, like for psychologically it is. It's but you want to be buying right here. So what do I say we have coming up? Well, simply Are we going to see another bounce like this? It is very likely that we do see a bounce like we just saw in the COVID markets. I mean, we've extended about 12% down. Now we're going up so far. So does this get a little more jagged? I don't think it's going to be a smooth sail. I don't think we're going to necessarily be there in 2 candles, right? I do think it's going to take some development. But as you can see on the monthly chart, we are very early into the month and we have formed this deep wick. Now, do we flip and close the month near that 6,000 area? That would be insane. I like insane things, so I'm going to be open to the possibility, but by no means do I need to be committed to that bias. I will mostly be looking for upside trades at this point because I feel like this is a pretty strong shift in sentiment. It's the strongest reaction we've seen by far. If this is getting blown out of the water and maybe it gets deleted, then I will adapt my opinion. But as it currently stands, the amount of volume that I've seen come through on this type of move, unprecedented. I've never seen anything like this in my life. And that's like the second, third time I've said that in the last couple of weeks. Last week, honestly. So hope you guys are picking up on some of these levels that I'm leaving out for you in both the weekly analysis videos and also the trade review videos. We'll go ahead and look at NQ really quick, compare a few other assets. You can see NQ reacting beautifully to that monthly order block. Doesn't get better than that, guys. Really cannot ask for more. NQ would be the same levels. I'm going to basically look for a higher low to go open, low, high, close. Target this in a day or two or a week or whatever. Near term, we'll be targeting that stuff. Specifically for tomorrow, I want to be interested to see how deep do we go into here. Look for maybe an internal sweep, see how Asia trades. And then from there, look to trade maybe 19,000, 20,000. I think that's a reasonable target. So these are my levels. We're going to go through a few more charts just so we're all on the same page. VIX is absolutely getting folded, so that's a bullish sign. Good job, guys. Love to see this. So when VIX is dying, that means the premiums are getting crushed. That means that max pain is starting to kick in, and bears are ultimately struggling to find some sort of ground, and that's what's going to fuel the market move higher. So with that being said, we'll look at some of the correlated assets inside of the index. So Apple, of course, is bouncing. We go ahead and pull up our watch list. We can see Tesla, good bounce. Amazon, great bounce. Great bounce on Amazon. Absolutely tremendous bounce on Amazon. NVIDIA, great bounce. Yeah, Meta, great bounce. Look at a lot of these stocks. Hood, 23%. Great bounce. If you watch the analysis video, we gave you this 2 days ago, 20% lower. So if that helped you, if you got in, if you took a look at Hood, Robinhood, leave a like for your boy. I don't do this just for fun. I do this for validation. So leave a like. Thank you. But yeah, all jokes aside, markets are looking good for now. We'll see how that changes, if that shakes out. And the cool thing is, if it goes up from this point, I sound really smart. And if it goes down from this point, well, then I have something to make fun of myself about. So you see, the content is endless when you just look at the market and you observe what's going on and you give your best judgment as to what you think is coming. Good things happen. So hope you guys learned something in this video. As always, my information, join the free Discord, my links in the description. Check it out. Get funded. Top 1 futures, 50% off, code DTA. And we'll talk soon. Take care. Love you guys.